Mastering indirect questions with whose. Hello, language learners. Welcome back to our series on conversational English. Today, we're going to dive into a specific but crucial area: whose in indirect questions. You'll be learning how to formulate and report indirect questions with whose correctly and confidently. So, without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, let's quickly recap what an indirect question is. An indirect question is a question embedded inside a statement or another question. Unlike direct questions, they do not typically require a question mark. For example, I wonder whose book this is. Indirect. Whose book is this? Direct. In the first sentence, the question about the book is embedded in a broader statement, so it's considered indirect. Now, let's specifically focus on using whose in these indirect questions. Whose is a question word we use to ask about possession or ownership. When used in indirect questions, the question becomes part of a larger sentence. Here are a few examples. She asked whose idea it was to start a band. Do you know whose car is parked outside? I wonder whose glasses these are. In each of these sentences, the question about ownership is embedded within a broader statement or question, making them indirect questions with whose. Great job so far! Now we're going to step it up a notch with reporting questions using whose. When you report a question, you're telling someone else about a question that was asked. Instead of using question syntax, you use statement syntax. The word order changes. Here are some examples. Direct question. Whose jacket is this? Reported. She asked whose jacket it was. Direct question. Whose phone is ringing? Reported. He wondered whose phone was ringing. Notice that in reported questions, the subject comes before the verb, unlike in direct questions. It's time to practice. Creating your own sentences is the best way to cement this knowledge. Try to form your own indirect and reported questions using whose. Remember, practice makes perfect. And that wraps up our video on reporting questions with whose. I hope you found this lesson useful and interesting. Keep practicing and soon, reporting indirect questions with whose will be second nature. Thank you for joining us, and remember, language learning is a journey, so enjoy each step. See you in our next video.